cold wind moved across the dark ground. Snowflakes touched the steel walls of the human base. The sky was black. The lights on the gate blinked red. Cameras moved left and right. Nothing moved outside. Then something appeared in the snow, a figure small. Slow crawling, was a girl, an alien girl. Her skin was pale blue, her hair long and silver, her clothes torn, her feet bleeding. She walked to the human gate. Step by step, weak, tired, but not stopping, she reached the door and raised her hand. She knocked. Once, twice, then again, and again her voice came through the speaker. "Please, please open. I am not a threat. I am not your enemy." The guards watched the screens. One looked worried, another looked angry. "She is one of them. She could be a spy," the commander said nothing. He stood behind the guards, watching the screen, his face calm, his eyes sharp. The girl cried now, real tears falling down her cold face. She spoke again. "Please let me in. My body is strong. I can work. I can bear strong children. I will serve. Just let me live." The room went silent. No one spoke. Even the air felt heavy. The girl fell to her knees. Her hands touched the cold steel door. She pressed her head against it. She was shaking. She whispered, "I saw him in my dreams. He had kind eyes. He was human." The commander looked closer. "Zoom in," he said. The camera moved closer to her face. She was young, maybe 20. Her arms had marks, burns, scars, signs of pain. She was not lying. The pain was real. The fear was real. But the commander saw something more, something strange, something in her DNA. He checked the scan. Human match. 85%. How? He asked softly. A guard stepped forward. "We cannot trust her. She could explode. She could kill." The commander raised his hand. "Wait, look again." They watched her collapse, her body now still, but her lips moved just a little. She said something. One word helped. The commander turned, "Open the gate." Now the guards moved. One pulled the lever. The steel door unlocked with a loud sound. The cold wind came in and so did silence. Slowly the door opened. Light from inside touched her body. She raised her head. Her eyes met the commander. She smiled. A small broken smile. "You," she said, "you were in my dreams. You saved me." Her body fell forward. The commander caught her. Before she hit the ground, she was light, too light, like a dying bird. He looked at her face. She was still smiling, even in pain. "Even at the end, take her to medical," he said. The guards rushed forward. They took her gently, carefully, not like an enemy, but like something unknown, something special. The door closed again. The base was silent. The commander walked back to the screen. He looked at the recording. He watched her words again. "My body is strong. I will bear you strong children. Just let me in," he pressed. Pause. He looked at her eyes. "What are you?" he asked. To no one outside. The snow kept falling far away. In the sky above, a ship moved in the dark, watching, waiting, and inside the girl's body, something glowed, very faint, very deep, but alive. The lights in the medical room were soft. Machines beeped quietly. Warm air filled the space. Outside the wind screamed, but inside it was calm. The alien girl lay on the white bed. Wires touched her skin. A soft light moved over her body, scanning her, reading Hera. Nurse stepped back and looked at the screen. "She is stable, but her body is not normal. There are changes, strange changes." The commander stood beside the glass. He said nothing. He only watched. She opened her eyes. Slowly, like someone waking from a long sleep, she turned her head. Her eyes searched the room. Then they found him. "You," she whispered. "I saw you again. You are real." The commander stepped inside. His boots made no sound. He stood near the bed, his arms crossed, his face strong, but curious. "What is your name?" he asked. She looked at him. Her voice was soft. "Lura. My name is Lura." "Why did you come here?" he asked. "Why risk death? Why come to humans?" She closed her eyes. "I had no choice. They told me I must spy on you. They trained me. They hurt me. Said I must bring back secrets. They called you monsters. But I said no. I ran. I escaped." The commander watched her. His eyes did not move. "What do they want from us?" he asked. She breathed slowly. "They fear you. They say you are wild, strong, dangerous. But I watched, I listened, I learned you fight. But not for power, you fight to protect, to survive. To love, I wanted to see that myself. Nurse looked worried. She has human genes mixed deep, maybe from birth, maybe designed. The science officer entered. He held a small screen. Commander, there is something inside her. We are still checking. It is old. It is not from her world. It is not from ours. Lura sat up slowly. I don't know what it is, but I feel it since I was born. Something in me watching, waiting. Commander leaned closer. Who made you? She looked down. I never saw their faces, only shadows, only voices. I was in a cage. They gave me food, they taught me words. They said I was special, but I never felt special, only lost. The nurse whispered, she is not lying. The commander turned to Lura. You said you saw me in your dreams. How is that possible? She smiled, a soft, strange smile. Not a trick, not a lie. I saw your eyes many times, in fire and cold, in darkness. Your voice called me. Wake up, run. Come home. I followed that voice. The room went quiet. The screen beeped again. The science officer frowned. Commander, something is happening. Her heart rate is rising, but her face is calm. Lura placed her hand on her chest. It burns sometimes, like a sun inside. But I am not afraid. I came to you because I believe you are the only one who can understand, who can help me, who can stop them. The commander stepped back. You came to the most guarded base in this sector, alone, unarmed, hurt, just for belief. She nodded. Yes. I had nothing else. The science officer looked again. Sir, we scanned her blood. The human DNA is not random. It is specific, matches someone in our records. The commander raised his brow. Who? The officer hesitated. Youth. Silence was deep now, thick, heavy. Lura's eyes filled with water. I told you I saw you in my dreams. The commander stared at her. His mind raced. No words came, only thoughts. He turned and walked out. His voice was quiet. Keep her safe. No one enters. No one touches her. He walked through the hallway. His steps fast. Guards moved aside. He reached the control room. He opened the old files. He searched names, places, experiments. One word blinked on the screen. Project LH. His hand stopped moving. His eyes fixed on one photo. A lab, a small pod inside it. Baby, not alien, not human. Both. He closed the screen. Outside, the wind still howled inside the med room. Lura closed her eyes again. A tear rolled down her cheek. She whispered, I am not just here to hide. I am here to find myself far above the base. In the black sky, a ship moved closer. It made no sound, but it listened, and it waited. It had found her again, over the frozen land. Lights from the human base flickered in the dark. Guards stood at the towers, guns ready, eyes scanning. But the real storm was not outside. It was inside. Lura sat in a quiet room. Not a prison, not a bed, just four walls and silence. She sat on the floor. Legs crossed, hands in her lap, eyes closed. Something moved beneath her skin, a soft glow, like a heartbeat, but not hers. The door opened. The science officer stepped in. He held a small scanner. He said nothing. He only scanned. The lights on the scanner turned red, then green, then blue. He looked confused. Lura opened her eyes. You still think I am dangerous? She said. The officer paused. You are not normal. He answered. Your body carries something. Not from your people, not from us. She stood slowly. I told you I don't know what it is, but I feel it. It wakes when I feel fear. It speaks when I am silent. It shines when I dream. He stepped closer. Can you control it? She shook her head. No, but it listens. Sometimes. The commander entered the room, his face hard, but not angry. He walked to her, looked into her eyes. You said you escaped, he said. But why? Now why not before? Lura looked at her hands. They changed something in me. Last year they opened a door in my body, and something came in. It was not a weapon, not a machine, not a mind. It was old, very old. They called it the seed. The officer froze. That name. We have records. Lost data from first contact missions, rumors of a bioforce, a living code, a power that jumps from host to host. It was never confirmed until Lura's voice trembled. They used me. They thought I could carry it. They thought they could control it through me. But it changed me. I started to think, to feel more, to dream of places I never saw, to see faces I never met. One face came again and again. She looked at the commander. The commander turned to the officer. What can it do if this seed is real? What does it want? The officer spoke slowly. We do not know, but in old records, it was feared. Said to bring power or ruin. Nothing in between. The commander looked back at Lura. What does it want from you? She closed her eyes. Peace, or maybe escape. I cannot hear it clearly. It does not speak in words, only in feeling, only in pain. The lights in the room flickered. A deep hum filled the air. The scanner beeped wildly. The officer stepped back. Her energy is rising. Lura held her chest. I am not doing this. It is waking. It feels your fear. The commander raised his hand. Everyone calmed. The lights settled. The sound faded. Lura breathed deep. It sleeps again, she said. The officer spoke. This is not safe. She should be in a sealed room. The commander shook his head. No, she came for help, not to be locked away. She chose us. And maybe this thing inside her chose her. Lura whispered. They are coming. I feel them. They are searching. They will reach this base soon. The officer looked at the commander. We need to prepare. If they find her, they will not ask. They will destroy everything. The commander nodded. Then we will not let them reach her. Lura looked down. I never had a home, not with them. Not anywhere I hoped. Just once I could belong. The commander stepped forward. You are not alone now. Whatever you carry, whatever you are, we will face it together, far above. In the sky full of stars, a signal was sent from one dark ship to another. 3 words. She is awake below. Inside the base, the seed pulsed once more. A slow, strong beat. Lura stood still, but her shadow moved slightly, like something else inside her. Breathing. The night outside grew colder, but inside something ancient, something powerful had already begun to stir. Darkness set heavy on the land. Wind screamed across the frozen plains. Ice cracked beneath the silence. Above the clouds, a shape appeared. Not one, but many, moving slow, moving deep, like shadows with wings. Inside the human base, red lights flashed across the walls. Alarms echoed through the halls. Guards ran to their posts, weapons loaded, eyes sharp. The commander stood in the control room. Screens showed the sky. Enemy ships, 7, maybe more. They were not close, not yet, but not far. He turned to the officer. How long? The officer spoke fast. 15 minutes, no more. Commander looked toward the med bay. She said they would come, and now they have. In the lower level, Lura stood by a window. Her eyes glowed faint, her breath calm, but her hands trembled. She saw the sky. She saw the ships. She heard the whisper inside her. Awake, awake. They are near. The nurse stepped back. What are they? She asked. Lura did not answer. Her voice caught in her throat. They are the ones who made me, the ones who hurt me. They are not here for war. They are here for me. The commander entered the room. He looked at her. No words, only a long stare. Lura nodded. I will not run. I will not hide. I will fight if you let me. The officer behind him frowned. Fight with what? You are not a soldier. Lura stepped forward. No, but I have something inside me, and it will not stay silent. The seed stirred again, like fire in her chest, like thunder in her bones. The commander nodded. We will give you a chance. The base prepared barricades. Rose towers locked. Drones armed. Men and women took positions, eyes lifted to the black sky. The ships moved closer, their lights cold, their metal wings wide. No message, no warning, only silence. Then a voice from every speaker, every screen. Return the girl or fall. It was not a voice of anger, not a voice of fear. It was a voice of command, a voice that expected to be obeyed. The commander spoke back. She came here by choice. We will not give her to you. Voice answered. She is ours. She carries what belongs to us. Lura stepped to the screen. No, she said, I am not yours. Not anymore. The voice fell silent. Then the first blast came. Fire hit the outer wall. Metal screamed. Lights cracked. The base shook, but it stood inside. Lura felt the seed rise. It moved. Through her arms, through her breath, through her eyes. It did not burn. It did not hurt. It felt like power. She ran to the outer deck. Soldiers stared as she passed. Some stepped back. Some followed. The enemy landed. Tall beings with silver armor, eyes dark voices, cold weapons like blades of light. Lura stepped in front of the humans. No armor, no shield, only her voice. "Stop," she said. The beings froze. They looked at her. They saw the glow. They heard the seed. She raised her hand. "I was made by you, but I am not yours. I was trained to destroy, but I choose to protect." They raised their weapons. Lura closed her eyes. The seed spoke. A pulse of light burst from her chest. Soft but strong, like wind through fire, like waves through stone. The enemy stumbled. Their lines broke. Their blades dimmed. Humans attacked. Gunfire lit the night. Shouts filled the air. Steel clashed. Dust rose. Lura moved through the fight, fast, silent, not human, not alien, something between. She reached the leader, tall, cold eyes like ice. He looked at her. "You were made to serve." He said. She looked back. "No, I was made to change." She touched his chest. The seed burned. He fell. The others fled. Ships rose. Smoke followed. And then silence again. The base stood broken, but not beaten. The commander found her kneeling on the snow, breathing slow, eyes clear. He offered his hand. She took it. "You fought for us." He said. "I fought for myself," she replied. "But I found something more." He looked up. The stars watched still and far. "They will come again," he said then. "I will be ready," she answered. Behind them, the sun began to rise, soft, gentle, new. The sky was quiet again, wind soft, snow falling like ash. The battle was over. But silence does not always mean peace. Inside the base, walls cracked, floors dark with dust. Men and women moved, slow, fixing, lifting, cleaning. No one laughed, no one cried. Only work. In the command room, screens showed nothing. The enemy ships had vanished, no signals, no warnings, but something still lingered, a presence, a memory, a feeling in the air. Lura stood alone in the medical wing, hands on the glass, eyes on the snow. Her breath fogged the window. She could feel it. The seed was changing, again shifting, not speaking, but growing. The commander entered, boots soft on the floor. He said nothing, stood beside her. Both watched the quiet outside. "You are different," he said. Lura nodded. "I feel it too." The commander turned to her. "We scanned your blood, ran every test, checked every cell." Lura waited. "The results are strange," he said. "Not just alien, not just mixed. You are part human." She did not answer, not with words, only silence, only a blink. The commander watched her. "You knew, didn't you?" Lura looked at her hands. "Yes, but I did not understand." He handed her a file, photos, dates, numbers. One image, a child in a glass tank, half human, half something else. "This was the first attempt," he said. "Project L. Not just a spy, not just a weapon. A bridge between two worlds." Lura looked down. "I was born to be used, a tool, a test. But they never expected me to feel, to ask, to hope." The commander nodded. "Hope is dangerous to them." She turned to him. "Why do I match your DNA? Why do I see your face when I dream?" The commander sighed. "Years ago, I gave a sample for research. I never knew what they did with it. Until now." Lura stepped back. "So I am." He shook his head. "No, you are not mine. Not a daughter, not a clone. You are yourself. More than anything they made." She felt the seed move. It pulsed once, soft, like it understood. The nurse entered. "Sir, there is movement near the mountains. Not enemy, not machines, living things." The commander frowned. "Civilians or something else." Lura spoke. "They are, like me, others, made in labs, lost, broken, hiding from both sides." She walked past them, down the hall, to the weapons room. She did not take a gun. She took nothing. She closed her eyes. The seed showed her the path. The others were waiting. The commander followed. He did not stop her. He did not lead. He walked beside. Outside, the cold bit their skin, snow thick, winds sharp. But Lura walked without fear. They reached the ridge below. In the valley, shapes moved, small, weak. Some crawled, some held sticks. None spoke. Lura raised her hands. "I am one of you. I was made, then forgotten. But I remember now. You are not mistakes. You are not tools. You are not alone." One stepped forward, a girl, eyes wide, face thin. She touched Lura's hand. "Do you hear it too?" she asked. Lura nodded. "Yes, it sings inside me, not of war, but of change." The others came close, like shadows to light. They stood in the snow, watching the human at Lura's side, but not afraid. The commander looked at them. Children, teens, not soldiers, not threats, just lives. Taken before they could begin. He turned to Lura. What now? She looked at the sky. They will come again, to take us. To break us, then we stand together, he said. She smiled. Yes, together. The seed pulsed again, stronger, brighter. It reached into the ground, into the air, into every broken piece of what she was. Lura closed her eyes. She was not a spy, not a weapon, not just a girl. She was a bridge between fear and hope, between blood and light. The others felt it too. Their eyes glowed, not with fire, but with something new. The mountains watched, old, cold, but not untouched. For the first time the seed had roots, and it would grow. Snow fell slow over the valley. Soft flakes touched the faces of the forgotten. They stood together now, not hidden, not hunted, just seen inside the base. Lura walked with quiet steps, eyes low, mind loud. The seed moved gently, no threat, no pain, just a low hum, a heartbeat not hers, but now part of Earth. Commander stood near the old map table, lines drawn, zones marked. Nothing held truth anymore. Not borders, not flags. He watched the screen. A signal blinked, faint, hidden in noise. A technician leaned. In encrypted old code. Human. The commander frowned. Trace it. The officer beside him whispered. Sir. It came from inside. Silence dropped over the room, thick. Still he moved fast to the secure room, past doors, past guards inside. Lura waited. She turned before he spoke. I felt it. Someone here is calling them. The commander looked at the screen. Numbers flowed. A call, short, sharp, a warning. They know where we are. He stepped back. Who had access? The officer brought a list, 5 names. Only one matched the pattern. A soldier, trained, trusted. The commander nodded. Bring them in. 2 guards moved, quick, silent. No questions asked. Lura closed her eyes. The seed pulsed again. It did not fear. It did not judge. It only watched. They brought the soldier, brown hair, clean uniform. Eyes tired. He did not fight, did not speak. The commander stared at him. Why? The soldier looked down. They offered peace, no more death, no more war. They said if we gave her back, they would leave. The officer stepped forward. They lied. The soldier shook his head. Maybe, but I believed. I had to believe. We are tired, broken. She is not one of us. Lura stepped forward. I am more human than you in this moment. The seed stirred, not angry, not violent, but awake. The soldier looked at her. You don't belong here. The commander raised his hand. Enough. He turned to the guards. Take him to holding. The room emptied. Only Lura and the commander remained. She sat down, her hands shaking. He watched. Harry trusted them. She whispered. He said nothing. Outside the wind howled again. Not storm, not snow. This time engines, ships, many. The base alarm screamed. They are here. The guards rushed. Positions taken, weapons armed. Lura stood, eyes wide. They moved fast this time. No message, no words, only fire. Explosions cracked the sky. Walls shook. Drones flew, blades cut the air. They had come not to talk, but to take inside. Children cried. The seed pulsed. Lura felt it scream. She ran. Through smoke, through fear, to the command deck. The commander gave orders. Hold the gate. Protect the south wing. Lura pointed. They are not coming for the walls. They are coming through the tunnels. The technician gasped. We never told her about the tunnels. The commander nodded. Because the seed knows. They moved fast down the stairs, past shadows, into the earth. Enemy soldiers crawled through the lower shafts. Silent, cold, ready. Lura stepped into the dark. The seed lit her hand. Soft glow, bright path. She met them first. No weapons, no shield, only fire in her chest. They stopped. Just for a second, that was enough. Human guards fired. Tunnels lit with noise. One by one the enemy fell. Lura did not kill. She moved, she blocked, she protected. A blade cut her arm. She winced, but stood behind her. The children watched, eyes wide. One touched her back. She turned. The child held up a small light, faint, same glow as hers. The seed had jumped not away, but across. A gift. Lura looked at the child, then at the others. They were changing too. Not weapons, not soldiers, but protectors. The battle above slowed. The enemy lost ground. The commander stood at the gate, gun in hand, eyes burning. The ships rose again, broken, retreating, smoke in their path inside. The traitor sat in the cell, head down, no words. The commander walked in. You almost killed us. The soldier looked up. You still lost something, that girl. She is not whole. The commander leaned closer. No. She is more than whole. She is everything we forgot to be. He left the room. Lura stood by the window again, blood on her sleeve, dirt on her skin, fire in her eyes. The seed rested. For now the commander joined her. They failed again, he said. Lura shook her head. No, they changed their plan next time. They will come as friends. He stared at the horizon. Then we will be ready. The sky held no smoke, no ships, no fire, only stars above, only snow below. The base stood still, walls cracked, towers bent, but still standing, still breathing inside. Men and women walked without hurry, no alarms, no shouting, only soft voices, only tired feet. Lura sat beside a window. Her hands rested in her lap, her eyes calm, her breath steady. The seed slept, not dead, not gone, only resting, only waiting. Children passed by. Some smiled. Some waved. She smiled back. The commander entered the room. No guards, no weapons, just him. He sat across from her. For a long time neither spoke. Then she looked at him. They will come again, not with guns, not with ships, but with hands, with smiles, with words. He nodded. Yes, and that is harder. She turned to the glass. They will say we are dangerous. They will say I am a mistake, but I am no. Said nothing. Lura stood, walked to the center of the room, touched the floor with her hand. The seed stirred again. A soft pulse, a deep warmth. Not loud, not sharp, just alive. The others feel it now. She said, the ones like me, the ones hiding. They are not alone anymore. The commander opened a folder, a paper with new codes, new identity, new rights. He held it out. She looked at it. Her name written in human letters. Lura, no number, no rank, just Lura. He spoke slow. You are now registered citizen of the new zone. You can stay, you can leave. You are free. She took the paper, held it tight. I want to stay. He smiled for the first time in days. Good. The officer entered the room. Sir, the council replied. They want to meet her. The commander frowned. Why now? The officer hesitated. They saw the data. They saw the battle. They see what she is. Lura looked down. They want to use me. The commander nodded. Maybe, but not all of them. Some still believe, some still hope. She looked out again. The snow stopped, the wind silent, the world waiting. Let them come, she said. The officer left later. She stood before the council screen. 7 faces, old, new, worried, curious. They asked questions. She answered calm. What are you? Why are you? What do you want? She answered with truth. I am not a weapon. I am not a threat. I am not a tool. I am a choice. They asked about the seed. She told them what she knew, what she felt, what she dreamed. One council voice said, it should be removed. It should be destroyed. She stood tall. If you try, you will break more than me. Screen went dark. The commander stood behind her. You were brave. She looked at him. I was honest. He nodded. That is the same thing sometimes. Days passed. The base healed. The tunnel sealed. The towers repaired. Lura walked freely, spoke to soldiers, sat with children, watched the sky. The seed stayed quiet, but never gone. One night she walked alone to the ridge above the valley. The stars blinked. The wind returned, cold, sharp, but peaceful. She heard footsteps. The commander. Again he stood beside her, looked up. We lost many. He said, yes, she replied, but we found something too. He looked at her. What did you find? She smiled. A place, a purpose, a name. He handed her a small badge. Unit mark, name, status. She took it, held it to her chest. Thank you. You earned it. They stood there, not as soldier and stranger, but as equals, as survivors. Below, the valley lights blinked. Faint but growing. The others had come one by one to live, to learn, to become. Not just experiments, not just ghosts, but people. Lura watched them, her people, her family. She had been made in pain, but she chose peace. She had been born to be used, but she chose freedom. She had been alone, but now she belonged. The seed pulsed once, not in warning, not in fear, but in joy. The sky held no smoke now, only stars, and among them one star pulsed brighter, waiting, watching, not as a threat, but as a promise. She was not the end of the story. She was the beginning, and she was home.